A Sunday school teacher was teaching her 5th and 6th grade class about the 10 Commandments. She explained to them what it meant to honor your father and mother, and then she asked them a question. Is there a commandment that tells us how to treat our brothers and sisters? Well, without missing a beat, a little boy answered quickly, yes, thou shalt not kill. Welcome to the Word for 2021. Today we're in Genesis chapter 30. Now this is a very strange chapter. You're going to be reading about mandrakes and goats having sticks in front of them while they're mating. And you're going to be reading about people that try and make things happen for themselves. In this chapter, you'll find jealousy, envy, superstition, and trickery. Laban had tricked Jacob. He wanted to marry Rachel, but he tricked him so that he would first marry Leah and then Rachel. By the end of this chapter, Jacob has 4 women and 12 children. Rachel and Leah are jealous of each other. They are in a competition with each other. Whenever you have jealousy, you will always have strife. In James chapter 4, verses 1 and 2, this is what we read. What causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you? You desire, but you do not have, so you murder. You covet, you cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask God. Robin's shop loves garage sales. She was at one garage sale and going through the things that were being sold, and she opened up a case and found a shiny saxophone. It was vintage and in pristine condition. She asked them how much they were wanting, and they said $20. Quickly, she paid them the $20, but then she thought, this is odd because I don't even play the saxophone, but it looked like such a good deal. Well, she called her husband to find out what saxophones go for on eBay, and he called her back and said, I can't find any saxophones on eBay. So she just hung up the phone. Right about that time, an elderly man came up to her and said, I'd like to buy that saxophone from you. In fact, I'll give you $20 more than you paid for it right now. Well, for Robin, she was thrilled. She didn't play the saxophone, and she was getting $20 more in just a few minutes' time. For her, it was Jehovah Jireh. God has provided. She was thrilled, and she said, this is a great blessing. Well, later, she looked on eBay herself, and she found that her husband went to the wrong place, and there were saxophones that were selling just like that one for $500. Well, she felt robbed. She felt as though she had been wronged and she couldn't let it go. She was envious and she was feeling greed welling up inside of her, and she was also feeling guilty. So she got her Bible out and she started looking up verses that talked about thankfulness and being grateful and praise. Soon she was able to let that go, focus upon how good God has been to her, and joy returned to her. Well, a few weeks later, she was at another garage sale and she saw that same man. Those same feelings started to well back up inside of her, so she was going to just walk away. But the man recognized her, and so he called out to her and he walked over to her and he said, I just wanted you to know that your spontaneous gratitude a few weeks ago, it really blessed me. You see, I'm now retired with a lot of time on my hands, and I haven't played the saxophone in years. Well, my passion has returned, and I love playing the saxophone. And he started putting his fingers together on that invisible saxophone. Well, he was so appreciative, and she felt really good about herself. Robin later wrote this story down, and it was published. She also said in that article that she wrote that I thought at first that he had stolen my blessing, but later, in fact, I realized that he was my blessing. If we want to overcome the feelings of envy and ill feelings towards others by what we think they might have done to us, the best way to do that is to first praise God for the blessings that you have right now. Second, go through the Bible and look for verses that talk about praise and thankfulness and gratitude. And finally, pray to the Father that he will bless those that you're thinking of. If you do those 3 things, jealousy will not have a foothold in your life, and joy will be yours. The joy of the Lord will be your strength. Thank you for joining the Word for 2021.